Fun fact. During your lifetime, you will produce enough saliva to fill 2 swimming pools.
That's gross.
What? That is crazy. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, well, that's Thomas's fun fact of your NFL talk weekly.
Was it fun?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Dude, that was a fun fact. That's a lot of saliva.
That's all saliva.
That is a lot of saliva.
I guess it is needed. And I hope you enjoyed our intro. It's a special song we have that we made.
Okay.
Well, I was guitar, and
Thomas was on drums.
We were so full of crap.
And I was playing the triangle.
oh,
No, the cowbell. Cowbell, my bad.
everyone needs more cowbell.
Yeah, need more cowbell. Anyways, you're going to get that song in there maybe a little more often, get a little more start instead of us just staring at you awkwardly and is it live? Is it live? Oh, Thomas, go. So, there we go. We got a little fun intro. And this is We Talk Sports Good if you have not listened before. And we are covering the NFL today, our NFL Wednesday. A great time to do NFL. You got Thursday Night Football about to kick off tomorrow. Good time to recap and just kind of get back into the week. It's kind of feels like the only dead day for NFL because Tuesday you have just a lot of news. Wednesday's just more, I guess, unless Cam walks out at another press conference, a little more dead on Wednesday. So with that, we'll just get straight into it, and we'll kick it off with Thursday Night Football, the game that couldn't end. Raiders, though, pull off the win eventually, as that was a very dramatic Thursday Night Football. A lot happened. You have Marshawn Lynch getting thrown out, yet you have Derek Carr going off. Finally, it feels like. Amari Cooper, where have you been? Just about doubling everything. What do you guys
Still
take out
dropping.
of that game? Yeah, still dropping, though, but geez. Where was that? Anyways, what do you guys take out of the game?
I mean, Lynch getting thrown out was just a little ridiculous. Like, if I recall, he wasn't even on the field, right?
No, he came sprinting off the sideline.
Like,
Marcus
Yeah, he
Peters
ran on.
is his cousin, by the way. That's who he was breaking up from
Yeah.
the pile as well.
I mean, you got to be smarter than that man. I mean, even if he wouldn't have grabbed the ref and like shoved him, he probably still would have got thrown out of the game, right? I think that's the rule. Is if you come off the bench like during a brawl that you get thrown out. I know it's a fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fine.
I believe it is, but at the same time, they might not realize he came running off the bench. If they don't,
Yeah, that's true.
if that doesn't click right away, there's a lot of plays you just kind of, oh wait, was he in or was he out type of thing. But
That's true.
I believe it is. But yeah, I mean that's kind of. They still played well though.
In a game like that, you have to be smarter than that, though. And he's a veteran. He knows better than that. I mean, a 30-31 game, that could have been a difference maker. Who knows? I get that he's sticking up for his quarterback, but did he really think that Donald Penn and, Rodney Hudson, I'm pretty sure they had it covered if anything was going to go down. Those are some mean dudes. So, but yeah, it was a great game, though. Great game. I think Oakland is showing what they can be winning that game. As long as everyone's healthy, Carr looks good after basically breaking his back for the most part. I mean, he was a little stiff that first game back, but now he's looking good.
Yeah.
Raiders might be dangerous down the line here.
I don't know. We were expecting a lot of the Raiders. Also interesting, Navarro Bowman taking in plays on a Thursday night, a short week inside.
1 week and taking in plays. That's wild.
Thomas, what do you take out of that game?
Yeah, that game was actually really good. A good string of Thursday night football games has been clutch. Hopefully Monday Night Football will catch up. But I think the Raiders, like I said, trap game, y'all. That was our first picks of last week. I was like, this is a trap game, but I'm still rolling with the Chiefs, and so I think that the Raiders got lucky with all those penalties in the end zone. That's what I meant. To keep their drive
Amari Cooper.
They had
pass interference early in the game.
They had 2 plays with zeros on the clock, which was huge for them. So I mean, like I said, it was a great game. Marshawn Lynch getting thrown out. That dude's an idiot, but he obviously doesn't care about. He just it's Marshawn Lynch's world, and we're just living in it. So, oh no, I liked it. It was a good game.
Yeah, and I don't think we can really obviously any huge negatives for the Chiefs. I mean, that type of game, you're playing well. You obviously don't commit penalties at the end of the game, but I mean, yes, they lost 2 in a row, but I mean, at the same time, a division team is always tough on a short week. Steelers have the potential, and they're what is it? I think 0-3 against the Steelers in the last 5 years or something.
The Chiefs or the Raiders?
The Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. Steelers have their number. I think it's like they're like 0-3 or 0-4 or something like that.
So I mean, that's a team that it's just the play style you don't play well against, and then a short week versus a division rival. I mean, I don't think this still takes anything away from the Chiefs being a top playoff team in the AFC at least. So, but going forward, that also brings an interesting point. The new number 1 team as of now in the AFC is the Steelers, and they won 29-14 versus the Bengals behind a little hide-and-go seek.
That one was great.
Yeah. So, interesting. I don't know if did you guys get to catch that game. Tony Romo calling that one.
I don't think I got to see that one. I can't remember if that was on for me or not, but yeah, I mean, Steelers are looking good right now.
I mean, it's their potential.
They got a little problem at wide receiver right now, but honestly, I think someone needs to just sit Martavius down and be like, look, I mean, a good chunk, probably I would think that over 25% of their targets, passing targets, are going to be between Le'Veon and Antonio. And then the rest has to be divvied out between Jesse James, Bryant, Juju Smith, and anyone else that they're going to throw to that game. Like, he's still like 3rd in targets on their team. Where did he expect to be 1? Like, you have possibly debatably the best receiver on your team.
Oh, yeah. You want to know right now receiving yards? Antonio Brown, 756. Second place, AJ Green at 545.
Wow. So, yeah, debatably the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I've heard so many people say that if Le'Veon was converted to a wide receiver, he'd be one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. So, I mean, I don't understand what he wants from them. Does he want 12 targets a game? Because you're not going to get it there. So I guess, I mean, if he really realistically wants that, I guess he should be traded because he's not going to get that in Pittsburgh. He's just not going to.
That's true. So Thomas
he needs to go to the Bears.
Bears. That's what I was going to ask you, though. If you're someone like the Bears or the Jags, I know we mentioned the Jags before, the Bears that were mentioned also, but Martavius Bryant is 1 strike away from a year suspension. I mean,
interesting.
So how much would someone like the Bears, who I know we also mentioned beforehand, they traded for Dontrell Inman for a conditional 7th round from the Chargers, so trying to get anything at that wide receiver. How much risk would you take as the Bears, Thomas, for someone like that, 1 strike away?
If I'm giving up a 7th round pick, I feel
that was for Inman, though.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It would depend on what I'd give up for him. If I'm the Jags, I don't see them making a move for someone like that. As you can, if you look at everyone they've signed, because they've signed a bunch of people, they don't have that record, and if they did, they were released immediately. You see how Julius Thomas didn't last that long. I'm not saying that he had a record or anything, but he didn't last long at all. But I think me and Red saw the documentary over Calais Campbell going, and that documentary made me a fan. Like, he's playing for the wrong team, but made me a fan of the dude because he's like he's just a big teddy bear. Dude's 6'8",
nice guy,
and he's a genuine dude. So I think that the Jags are doing something right as far as the people that they bring in. I mean, Boye wasn't he didn't have any problems in Houston. beforehand. So it's just I don't see the Jags doing it. I mean, it would make sense, but I honestly don't see a fit for him there. But who knows?
I could see him going to a place like maybe the Ravens or Jets, or even, I mean, I wouldn't say the Rams. I don't think the Rams would really want him at this point. But I could see Ravens or Jets. And if I'm a GM, I can't give up a second round for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only giving up a third, and it's a conditional third.
Yeah.
If he didn't have any off the field issues at all, I'd give up a second for him. I think he's that good. But it's just too risky, especially with you saying I knew he had a lot of strikes. I didn't realize he was a strike away from a whole year. Yeah, I couldn't give a second.
Yeah,
so but I don't see him getting traded during this season. I think he'll stay there.
One team that would be fun I think it's the Lions. I think they're really missing. I think they're really missing a deep threat guy, like someone who can stretch the field and to utilize Matt Stafford's arm. So
that's why I said the Ravens too, because Flacco can chunk that thing too. He's probably right after Stafford. I would think Flacco's probably got the strongest arm in the league. So
even then, San Francisco too, just with Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that transitions, as we mentioned, elite Joe Flacco and the non-existent offense take a loss behind the Vikings and Case Keenum. The only offense they have right now left is Justin Tucker, and it seems like every wide receiver is going down and not helping Flacco's case at all. I know we mentioned we might do this halfway through the point, buy or sell on your playoff teams. Thomas's new section we'll bring in next week, maybe, if we have time. Are you buying or selling your Ravens as a playoff team, Red?
Red? Yeah, Red. You better ship them for a penny.
I mean, obviously you don't expect this many injuries when you pick a team, but to be honest, it's not the offense that I'm so surprised about. I didn't expect them to have a great offense. I thought the defense was going to be better. I mean, you're the Ravens. They're known for having great defense. They won a Super Bowl because of their defense.
Trent Dilfer, baby, wins a ring.
Honestly, two Super Bowls because of their defense. And you're letting up 24 points to the Vikings. You shouldn't be doing that. I mean, especially, with Keenum. I mean, that's no shot at Keenum. He's been decent, but I mean, he 20 for 31, 188 yards and an interception, and they still hung 24 on you. Come on now. You've got to be better than that. And, looking at that division, I don't think they can make the playoffs, honestly.
Thomas, question on the Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater possibly back week 10. I know that's your division-winning Vikings pick, and that's looking better and better each day now. How do you feel about that?
I mean, Teddy Two Gloves hasn't played in a good while. If he does play, week 10, week 11, or whenever he comes back, I see them running the rock 60% of the time. He's not throwing more than 20 passes. It ain't happening.
Who do you think's getting the bulk of the carries? Latavius or McKinnon?
I think that it depends on the game flow.
Yeah,
and
who they're playing for sure.
Who they're playing. Listen, Latavius Murray should be getting all the carries though, because that dude is just punishes. The dude punishes people when he runs. So, I mean, I think the Vikings offense will be the same with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't see them becoming, this awesome, elite offense just because they got their quarterback back. But I mean, Keenum's elusive. I mean, he's not slow, so he can, he moves the pocket. He can make plays. He can extend plays. So, I mean, we'll see. It just depends on the accuracy and who can make more plays. But you flip a coin with him. But yeah, I mean, Bridgewater coming back doesn't hurt him. So
yeah, I'm interested to see when he comes back how scared of pressure he is. Like, is that the fact that he was out so long off of one hit? Is that going to make him a little scared in the pocket? I mean, sometimes you see quarterbacks come from an injury, and those first few games, they're gonna either throw the ball away quick or just drop to the ground because if they see pressure. If I was a quarterback, I wouldn't want to hang in there and try to throw a ball knowing that I'm about to get destroyed by 6'6", 280 defensive end that can run a 4.5. So it'll be fun to watch.
We'll see. And we'll move on to the last team in the AFC North division. Field goals win championships. Titans win 12-9. A field goal fest out there. And man, every day it seems like Browns, look who you passed in the draft.
Bro, I don't know what's wrong with the Titans, dude. I know Mariota feeds off of his running, being able to run the ball, and the read option and stuff like that. But come on, it's the Browns. I know and also the Browns aren't terrible.
Hey, they have
stopping the run.
One of the top run defenses.
Yeah, they're not bad, but come on.
No, you got to punch.
You were taking second overall, and you got two monster running backs. I know they were in the red zone about 3 times. Couldn't punch it in.
There was one time it was 1st and goal on the 1. They ran Murray 3 times and Henry once and did not get in.
And with the people that they have, with that, with the playmakers they have, to me, they should be one of the top red zone efficiency teams because there's so many things people have to worry about. Read option with Mariota scrambling, DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry just plowing people down. And then you have really big body wide receivers. They don't have small wide receivers. Decker, Rashard Matthews, all those guys are 6'2", 6'3", and up. And then Delaney Walker in the middle of the field. They have so many weapons. I don't understand how they can't get in the end zone.
Yeah, their health is scary now. I mean, Mariota coming off the injury, Murray's still playing. It's always seems like is that the hamstring's obviously not completely there. Delaney came out of the game. I don't know how. I haven't seen if they confirmed if he's missing time or not. Decker doesn't look like anything there. Corey Davis has not done anything for him. That nice 1st-round pick because of injury. So. I mean, I know they're first in the division, but with the Jags and the Texans right there, you got to fix it
when Corey Davis comes back, he's going to be good.
But you got to fix it fast now.
Yeah, but when Corey Davis comes back, he'll be good.
Yeah, and Delaney Walker is just questionable for this week. It was just like a bone bruise.
He kind of hobbled off, so I couldn't tell. But, okay, that's good to know because, it looked worse than probably, like you said, just – looked bad, but okay. Well, that leads to my next point. The Jags, baby, Saxonville, or as they call themselves on Twitter sometimes. Saxon. I don't like that. That's harder to say than I thought. 10 sacks.
That anyways. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's what they put as their Twitter name every time they have a game like this. But
Saxonville.
10 sacks. I know it's the Colts, 27-0 though, but that's the defense you expect, and I have to give it to him every time he does something like this. Blake Bortles looked good.
330 for a touchdown.
No Fournette.
Listen, it doesn't matter when you're playing the Colts. Their defense is bad, and they lost their best player to an ACL injury.
I know. Willie Coker
in the second quarter.
Good.
And also just holy cow, the Jags need to trade one of their running backs. They could get some value out of those dudes. TJ Yeldon, 9 carries, 122 and a touchdown. Chris Ivory got the ball 17 times, and we've seen how good Chris Ivory can be. And then you have Fournette, too. My goodness. Trade one of those backs, man. You get a good pick out of that.
But, Jags, they're playing the style they want and it's working.
I think if Foreman ever gets the opportunity.
Oh yeah. I'm assuming he's talking about Deontay Foreman for the.
Yes. If Foreman ever.
And it's gone.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. We'll just we'll move on to the go ahead and move on to the next one, and if he gets back in, we're getting to the Texans eventually. He can say it then.
Well, they're on the bye week, so we won't actually.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, my next point was moving divisions now. I'm trying to group them better and by division. If you hadn't noticed our flow here, but I know we mentioned it earlier. I decided we'll get to it now. Chargers, Broncos. The Chargers are 2 field goals away from being 5-2.
Yeah.
Just FYI, 2 missed field goals by rookie kicker from being 5-2, who is no longer on the roster. Whooped on those Broncos 21-0. That defense is real. I mean, Ingram and Bosa on both sides. Ingram is 4th in the league in sacks with 8.5. Bosa is 6th with 7.5.
Yeah, and then they have another defensive end on the other end of that 3-4 in Caleb Blewett or Corey Lugan. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Caleb Blewett is a tight end for Texas for a few years ago.
So,
but yeah, that's defense is
good. The corners, they have good corners when they're healthy.
And they're not even completely healthy.
No. And that offense is always good. It's never been a bad offense. The Chargers have never been known for a bad offense. So.
Yeah. I mean, because Cameron Hayward – or Casey Hayward, is there, but corner from TCU, Jason Verrett is out for the whole season, isn't he? If I'm remembering that right, or that maybe that was last year.
Their corners have gone through so many injuries, but they're good. They're good corners.
Yeah, and and then you have injuries to that offense throughout. They always have injuries to their wide receiver core, and then Forrest Lamp's out for the whole season. Who knows how good he could have been? This team is good, but they just have some issues with kicking, I guess, but 21-0 against the Broncos, good start, 3-4.
Thomas, are you back yet?
I've been back. I
Okay.
haven't been talking.
Okay. Any thoughts? I know I feel like we all are. Pretty solid on the Chargers.
Yeah. Just obviously, them blanking the Broncos is pretty amusing. But yeah, I didn't really expect that, but I still expected the Chargers to pull out a win, but not like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll move to our last AFC division here. Do the Dolphins need more of more? 31-28 versus the Jets. They came back from down a 14-point lead by the Jets, and the Jets throw a nice interception with 40 seconds left in the game to set the Dolphins up for a game-winning field goal, once again making my Jets pick look bad. So close to getting that extra point.
And I escape another week with my wallet intact thanks to terrible play by the New York Jets. Gotta love it. 28 to 14 with I think in the towards the end of the third, I think.
Yeah, it was around there.
And then they score 17 straight. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I do feel like at least the Jets are a little farther than we thought they would be. I will give them that.
I didn't think they would have won their third game yet. I honestly thought they might be 1-6 right now.
So interesting there, at least. Jets, Dolphins. Thomas, do you feel like you want Cutler back at all?
No. Matt Moore's been there a good while. He's not bad.
He's a NFL career backup that will step in and help you out when you need him.
He's a NFL quarterback by definition. So, but yes, he is no Jay Cutler, but I think he'll be better for the offense. I think the offense knows him, and he knows the ins and outs of the offense, and I think they get it going.
You made Kenny Stills look good.
Like, Kenny Stills ain't bad. I know Randall hates him because he's an OU product, but
he was on the Saints. I loved Kenny when he was on the Saints. I just don't think he's worth what they paid for him.
Yeah.
But interesting to see there. The Dolphins are...
And they signed David Fales this week.
Oh, boy. Good old San Jose State.
I'm not going to go into it because I can talk about this for a long time. That's really ridiculous.
That's funny.
Oh, David Fales.
Randall is anti-Colin Kaepernick, if anybody was wondering.
Yeah, right. Dude could easily start over all of the quarterbacks they've signed in the past 2 months.
Anyways, we'll move to another team in the division that has playoff hopes right now. Circle the wagon of the Buffalo Bills, 30-27, over the Buccos. Buccos 2-4 now. Bills have legit playoff chances maybe here. That offense looks very good, and to think they traded away all their receiver weapons, they were using guys you didn't realize were even on the team, I felt like. Logan Thomas, a former Virginia Tech quarterback, is now a tight end for the Bills, catching a touchdown. Tyrod Taylor was throwing about 280. LaShawn McCoy had a 2-touchdown game with 90 yards, and DeAndre Thompson, I didn't even realize was on their team, caught like 100+.
Isn't he the one that came up big for the Pats a few years ago for like half a season or something like that?
Real quick. I just out of nowhere, these guys making catches, it felt like. But
yeah, Buffalo would be a good – I don't know why I didn't think of them, but they'd be a good spot for Martavius Bryant too.
Yeah.
That would be a good pickup for them. Give you a little down-the-field threat that they don't – I mean, you know, he had 4 for 107, but he's not going to be there every week. That's not an every-week type of player. But, yeah, Bills look good. They still gave up 27 points, so I feel like that defense is kind of starting to – you know, I'm not gonna say down. I'm just gonna say they're plateauing. If you
Jameis threw for 384, but they did stop the run.
Yeah, 20 carries, 49 yards for Dougie Fresh. OJ Howard having a big game finally. 6 receptions, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. It'll be interesting to see if Cameron Brate's targets get scaled back now because he's been one of the better tight ends in the league so far this season. A lot of looks in the end zone too. So if OJ Howard is bumping up, which I've watched them past 2 or 3 weeks, and they have been trying to get the ball to OJ Howard. So I'm wondering if it's going to start, you know, switching a little bit where Brate's production goes down and OJ's goes up. But yeah, I picked the Bucks to win that one, but I was happy for them to lose it and me get that pick wrong because it looked good for a certain team that is also in the NFC South.
Don't worry, I have it set up very well, the transition there. Deontay Thompson, my bad. He had a couple touchdowns for the Bears in 2016.
Okay.
Actually came over from the Bears this year, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so. But yeah, anyways, Thomas, Tyrod Taylor's doing a lot with a little, and he's only on a year deal right now. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think he's playing for money, and I think he has to, and I don't think he's in any situation to complain about what he got because he is playing for that contract. I mean, he's doing a really good job with what he's got. I mean, LaShawn McCoy never hurts. So, you know, I like it. I just wish he had a reliable number one that he could go to. So, you know, we'll see. He makes a lot of plays. He's fast. So,
and also we'll think see. How many picks, all the picks Buffalo has been acquiring now. They want to package a couple and move up in the draft to get and stick with Taylor and then package up to get a top wide receiver this draft.
Who knows?
Just
I know they were high on Zay Jones.
Yeah. Only 2 catches, 17 yards. He's been a little bit of a, I don't want to say bust, disappointment.
Yeah.
But these are the guys that had catches. I just want to run through. we mentioned Thompson with 4, 107. Nick O'Leary, 2 for 58. LaShawn McCoy caught 5 for 31. Logan Thomas, the former quarterback, caught a touchdown, 1 catch for 22. Zay Jones, 2 for 17. Holmes had 2 catches for like nothing. Tywan Jones had a catch for 11. Jordan Matthews had 2 for 10, and Tolbert had 1 for 1. He's on to not really. I don't want to say no names, but I mean
Jordan Matthews is good, but
he only had 2 for 10.
He drops a ton of passes.
So, I mean, that's what he's throwing to, and it was 268. My bad, but he's efficient. He doesn't turn it over. I mean, man, he's doing like I said, look. If we look at his year-end stats, and I say if we do a blind resume test with him, it's going to be pretty interesting to see who he compares up to. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see because I know this is his contract year, correct?
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if they want to roll with him or use some of those picks to go for one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah. So, what direction and who will go for him with some big money? Anyways, move on to interesting Sunday night game. The Pats use a new weapon in fog that confused the Falcons, 23-7. And the only touchdown came very late. I will give credit to Julio. That was a monster touchdown.
Yeah.
Poor Malcolm Butler. The man has a family.
He had his day.
23-7. The Falcons won't use their running backs. I'm just going to say that. They have
I brought that up like 2 weeks ago.
You did.
They got to run the ball. Those are the 2 best.
Freeman is still sitting there with 5 rushing touchdowns. Why is he's had 5 rushing touchdowns for a while now?
18 carries from them combined. Freeman by himself should be having at least 18 carries, and then Coleman should probably have 10 to 12. You should be running that ball like 40 times.
Well, I get Matt Ryan's MVP, but at the same time, when you have both those running backs, Thomas, have we not learned from the Super Bowl that if you don't give your running backs the ball in the second half, look what happened there?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get Matt Ryan going, and it's not working. He has been awful.
Awful. Open it up for him with the run game. That's how that works.
You can't even lay him their line. You can't even lay their line either. It's not like it's terrible.
Thomas,
those were attempts at words.
little staticky talk there. Reattempt.
Yeah, well,
it was something about the O-line. Can't blame the O-line, which I will give him that.
Yeah, just real quick, Dion Lewis had 1 more carry than Freeman did.
Ooh.
Goodness, people.
And they legit don't care who's the number 1 running back.
No, not at all. And Gillislee had more than Coleman, and Burkhead had the same as Coleman.
Yikes!
Come on now.
Well, Burkhead barely even touches the field.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Heck, Brady had 5 carries. I mean, I'm pretty sure probably 2 or 3 of them were knees, but still.
Still. Well, moving to another game that one team did not have very much offense. I'll give you that. The Bears go extremely old school. 17-3 win over the Panthers. Mitch Trubisky threw 4 for 7. 4 for 7. 107 yards. They ran only 26 times total as a team. The Bears' total offense had 153 yards. Eddie Jackson, their rookie safety from Bama, his 2 touchdowns combined for 152 yards. Eddie Jackson.
That's crazy.
Almost had more yards than the Bears' total offense by 1 yard. So Bama wins the game versus the Panthers, I guess you could say. That was a mess of a game, I'll tell you that. I was watching that game. It was I couldn't believe that the Bears the Panthers had the ball the whole time. I mean, the Bears only had 153 yards of offense. They kicked the field goal. That was all their offense did. All their offense did because they threw a 70-yard pass to Cohen.
Yeah. I'm wondering at what point the Panthers are going to be like, hey, Stewart's not really doing anything on the ground. we should maybe cut back McCaffrey's targets in the air a little bit and see what this dude can do on the ground.
He's third. No, the tied for my bad. He's fourth. Because Fitz and Landry are tied for second. McCaffrey is fourth in receptions at 44.
Yeah, so maybe
they don't run the right plays for McCaffrey.
I mean, maybe
running wise, they
scale it back.
They're trying to make him. They're not doing like opening holes. They're just like, all right, run up the middle. That's what Jonathan Stewart does. That's not what McCaffrey does.
And he's not doing it very well.
No,
just say that. But yeah, I don't know. Panthers are just not clicking right now.
They came not clicking. Some hot games and then this. Thomas, state of the Panthers. How do you feel?
Whew. We thought Cam was back. After the last 2 weeks, something's got to give, something's got to change, because the defense only gave up a touchdown, maybe, not even, like only like a field goal, yeah. So their defense is doing it, but God, is the Bears defense that good?
I mean, they do look better. The Bears defense does not look bad. They have talent there. They definitely do.
Cam has a serious lack of other than McCaffrey, there's no speed on that offense other than McCaffrey. I mean, you have Curtis Samuel, but he's not really doing anything.
Yeah, they have a very limited role on him.
I think they would be really great with picking up someone that's, like a Martavius Bryant. A Tavon Austin type, or just someone on the outside that can burn. They don't even have to. Ted Ginn a few years ago, he wasn't catching a lot of those balls, but at least they kept him honest. Kelvin Benjamin and Funchess aren't going to just streak down the field and beat corners.
No,
it's not
Funchess
happening.
is a converted tight end. He played tight end his whole career at Michigan.
Yeah, at Michigan.
Well, his last year they split him out a lot, but it was a flex tight end type position. What Michigan did with him, and that's what he is. It's a good thing to have on your team, but if you have only that,
is Kelvin Benjamin still fat?
Still fat?
You meant it was like last year, maybe 2 years ago. He showed up to training camp huge.
He did. I do remember that.
Like he said, he's like a 4.5 guy, maybe.
No.
Is he slower than that or faster than that?
Yes, slower.
Wow.
I would say he's probably like a 4.65.
Jeez. He's just really good in the air, and at the same time, they don't give him opportunities to go up and get it, Like, at least before when Steve Smith was there, like, all Cam had to do was literally throw it up to an open spot of the field, and Steve Smith would run underneath it. So, like, you're right. They do need a burner,
So that rolls right into the Saints took down an NFC South team. We saw a lot of NFC South teams didn't take him down except for one, and the Saints came marching in 26-17.
Yeah.
Over, I know Hundley, but regardless, you had to go to Lambeau, and you had to win that game.
Yeah, they had to, but
with first place.
With Rodgers, it's a different story, and everybody knows it.
It is, but the Saints are sole first place now. The defense that you had no idea what they were exactly going to do with them, they're looking like solid pieces. Lattimore has been rated as one of the top rookies now. I saw on Pro Football Focus, they have him now considered in their minds by their ratings Rookie of the Year.
Yes, sir. But I was ecstatic when he dropped to us in the draft, and oh my gosh, he's lived up to everything I've wanted. And y'all got to keep in mind, arguably our best corner isn't even out on the field yet. Delvin Breaux is probably our best corner, and he's not out on the field. Got Crowley, I think maybe PJ's playing the slot right now. I don't get to watch him that much because our cable is fun. But, yeah, our defense looked good. Gave up a lot of rushing yards to Jones, but it's going to happen. That's fine. And we would have won by a lot more if Breeze didn't get picked off twice. Breeze gets picked off twice, and, that game could have been – I don't know, 35, 40 points to 17. You know, it could have been a lot worse for them. Because if I'm correct, he got picked in the red zone once. It might have been twice. So, you know, and also the running back tandem keeps looking good for us. I am enjoying it very much so. Glad Peterson's gone. Hope he does well in Arizona so we get a good pick.
I'm also enjoying it.
Thomas, how do you feel about that game?
I mean, if it's a good win for the Saints, obviously. I mean, their offense moved the ball. Their defense was great against, you know, a first time starter. I mean, it's everything that you wanted it to be. It didn't want to be a trap game, so they showed up, you know.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's a whole other story with Aaron Rodgers. So, but a win's a win. You got to play with what you're dealt.
Exactly, and first place now. So, Saints, legit playoff team consideration right now. Also, a good fantasy pickup if he is available. Tay Ginn. I picked him up a little bit ago. Been an excellent pickup. I feel like he might have just, I don't want to say knocked him out, but has he knocked out Snead?
I wouldn't say that because Snead's just a different kind of player. At this point, Kamara has basically been like the Snead of the offense. He's kind of that, you know, short dink and dunk in the slot type guy, and Ginn is just basically Ginn's catches are going to be. Ginn's not going to catch a bunch of catches that are under 20 yards. Like, he's going to be going deep ball. Michael Thomas is obviously going to be Michael Thomas and do what he does. If we could just get a solid tight end again, man, this offense would be so. It would probably be the best offense in the league to me if we got another Jimmy Graham type tight end.
Fleener's not doing it?
No, Fleener is not doing it, and neither is Josh Hill.
Well, we'll move on to the NFC West. Not much to say on this one, but Seahawks had a slow start versus the Giants, but still 24-7. I mean, man, the Giants. I think more of the story here is I've seen this by two different people now. Do you trade Eli? Which, I mean, man, that's a tough decision.
Who wants him?
One was the Jags because Tom Coughlin's player personnel over there. The other, Deion Sanders was going off on a rant to trade him to the Broncos. His whole argument is, Archie, you get on the phone with John Elway and tell him your quarterbacks suck. And look what Peyton did for you and won you a Super Bowl. Go get Eli, and you'll win another Super Bowl.
That's actually interesting because Eli with those wide receivers is not a bad idea. Yeah. That's interesting. I would explore that if I was.
Hey, not when they have Brock Osweiler on the bench, bro.
Womp 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 womp.
That man gets cut again immediately.
But the thing is, I find it interesting, obviously, to think about that. But if you were the Giants and you did that,
you're giving up.
You're giving up, and OBJ wants a new contract here. Exactly, where your direction of your team just drastically changed. So,
yep.
I mean, I don't think you can do that. You can't do that.
Why? And then those defensive players will start walking.
Yeah,
your team's going to be bad for the next 10 years.
Probably. You're in a bad spot. You're in a spot where you have to compete now.
True.
Which, I mean, this year obviously you aren't, but you're gonna have to take that draft pick, and you better draft an offensive lineman, and hope everyone's healthy, and you turn it around. I don't know. The Giants are in a really bad spot, in my opinion.
They need a running back too.
Yeah, if they don't get things turned around fast, like you said, this is the situation you turn into a very long turnaround, because now you have a bunch of guys that aren't going to want to be there and start walking, and you're not, it's just going to have to be old, and you have to switch to young, and it's just going to be a very long transition to get there.
Yeah, you turn to the 49ers real quick. 49ers were on the top of the world a few years ago, and now they're going to be struggling for a while.
They shouldn't have fired Harbaugh. But,
yeah.
They had a little bit conspiracy. Yost, man, what are you doing? Anyways, keep it in the West since we had two facing off. Rams and Cardinals. Rams 33-0. Offense looks solid all around, like they have all year. The defense playing great. Wade Phillips, baby, don't doubt him. Drew Stanton's going to be the starter for the long future here. How do we? I mean, I know they. I don't know. I don't know what to see on the Cardinals there. I feel like they're kind of in that stuck spot right now.
Yeah, especially because of how old they are.
Yeah.
But the difference between them and the Giants are I don't think the Cards were expecting a Super Bowl necessarily.
No.
And I think they realize that like it's very soon within the next year or so that they're going to be in a rebuild mode. I think the I thought so too, that the Giants would be competing this year, next year, and maybe the year after, depending on how long Manning can be okay for a Super Bowl, actually. But not now.
I mean, yeah, Joe Thomas.
What pick in last year's draft were the Cardinals?
They were around 12 or 13.
I think they were 13.
Because they got Reddick.
Yeah, I think that if Houston wouldn't have traded up for the Browns, that the Cardinals would have taken him.
I could see.
They did a documentary over Deshaun and like the past the draft and all that crap that he went through and stuff like that. And they said that the Cardinals were the ones that were talking to him the most. And they said had Houston had not have traded up, the Cardinals would have taken him. So that with Carson Palmer going down just made this whole situation that much bigger. Because we could have potentially seen Deshaun Watson making his first career start this week.
Yeah. Also, they did also like Mahomes too.
Yep.
So that's two guys they were going. Also, I mean, the thing is, at least their defense is younger, so their defense can hang around a little bit and be there. The offense, they're really missing. I mean, they do have some young wides. I know they haven't stepped up as big as they wanted, but they just need to fix, obviously, quarterback and offensive line, and I feel like they could be turned around pretty quick. It's a little bit of a quicker turnaround, maybe. But that's not easy to say. That's not easy to say. That's not easy to say, though.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we'll finish up with those last two games real quick. One more West, and then obviously we're switching to the East. Cowboys, I mean, they used all they can out of Zeke right now before he possibly goes out. 40-10. So I don't know if there's much to say.
It's the 49ers.
Yeah.
Skip that one. Who cares?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, the Cowboys used all they could out of Zeke. That worked. Got him a lot of touches.
I love how Marquise Goodwin has turned into a wide receiver that's supposed to be like that other than Garcon is like their star receiver. That dude's a punt return specialist on almost every team in the NFL except for the 49ers.
They're trying. So that moves to Monday night and finishes up with the East. Fly, Eagles, fly. 34-24 over the Redskins. And, Wentz looked extremely well right there. His Dakota Tough, John Gruden, how many times did he say it?
A lot.
Turn that into a drinking game.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, really. I feel like that's what I heard more over I was listening to some sports radio. Ben and Skin here in Dallas, obviously they're very pro Cowboys. And one of the things was, I'll say this. I don't know why they would say this. I really hope they're joking, but they did not sound like they're joking. They said the Cowboys were the class of the NFC. I don't know. Please say they're joking. They're like, the Eagles aren't legit still. And then they're like, well, I guess I'll give them credit for the win.
Hey, man, Carson Wentz is the truth.
Carson Wentz is debatably the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
I watched him play at North Dakota State 3 times against Sam Houston State in the national championship game. Yeah. And Sam Houston State, they're defensively very, very, very sound, and Wentz torched them. Yeah. 3 times. 3. Terrible.
I mean, he has the physical attributes. That's why I don't think schools really what school matters. It's what you do there, obviously, and how what you can turn into. And he proved everything he could where he was. He was just a late developer. He didn't get the offers. That's not his fault.
Yeah, and the best thing about him is he doesn't even use his feet. very often.
And he could easily.
Yeah.
That
was his highest rushing game.
I mean, he does use it in the pocket. I mean, we've seen him.
That was his most rushing yards in a game was last night.
That dude can easily have over 50 yards rushing per game.
Yeah. And to me, he's doing all this with not even that great of a wide receiver core. I mean,
they're still getting there. Yeah.
Yeah, Alshon Jeffrey can be good. Nelson Aguilar is one of the more underrated receivers in the league.
He's coming into his own. I liked him coming out of USC.
Yeah, Torrey Smith. I mean, Torrey Smith hadn't been Torrey Smith since the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I mean, Zach Ertz is great, but to me, they don't have a true number one receiver because Alshon Jeffrey just isn't the way he used to be, and Nelson Aguilar I wouldn't say yet is like a true number one.
Martavis Bryant
is way better in the slot.
Say that again.
Aguilar's way better in the slot as we saw last year. He put way too much pressure putting him outside. But Ertz, I wanted to get there. He is 6th in receptions, 7th in yards, and tied for 2nd in receiving touchdowns. And he's number 1 in all of those for tight ends.
Yeah.
Martavis Bryant.
And they're doing all this, and their rushing is hit and miss every week. I mean, that
was the first game. Smallwood
14 for 29, Smallwood 8 for 25. Their defense is for real too. I could easily see this team winning the Super Bowl.
Check this out. Peter's going down.
Yeah.
That does hurt. I forgot about that. Towards ACL and MCL, right?
Yeah, they were hoping it was just MCL. But it was both. Also, though, that's what I was going to get to, injuries, because I wanted to mention, Peters went down. But Washington, their O-line was getting beat. There was 3 guys were going on and off the field that game with injuries. I remember Williams went down. Sheriff went down. Sharif went down. Sharif was the one that dropped the nice colorful language on live TV.
Yeah, he's like one of the better. He's like probably after Martin, I'd say he's probably a top 3 guard in the league.
But I think it was Williams went on and off the field like 3 or 4 times because he went down. I mean, and then they had a third guy. They were just having major injury problems on the O-line, and that's a short week they're turning around. So if they get healthy is going to be a big question. I know they took an extra practice off today to try to get healthy. So interesting on that for Washington. So with that, we move into our picks, boys. Randall, you want to do a little rundown of score from last week and overall?
Yeah, also real quick, Trent Williams, Longview, Texas native, Longview High School.
Oh my gosh, who cares?
Me and everyone from Longview. Suck it. Speaking of last week, we actually did very well on our picks, all of us, last week. So good for us. Dom finally wins a week.
Yes. Yes.
He got 12 picks right. I got 11, and Thomas got 11. So that brings us to Thomas leading with 47. I'm next with 44, and Dom just getting that much closer.
One at a time, boys.
With 39.
One at a time. That's how you do it.
That man was giving up at week 6. Shut up.
Hey, who had the highest score last week?
I won.
Anyways, let's get right into it. Thursday night football, and we've had some good strings of games. This one doesn't look like it. Hopefully it turns into it. Dolphins at Ravens. Thomas.
I like the Dolphins. The Ravens defense hasn't been the best.
To say the least.
And I know Red is chomping at the bit to pick his division-winning team.
Yes,
so.
You have to win me one eventually.
I think with Matt Moore, they're a different team. I just don't think Jay Cutler was cutting it.
And
I got the Dolphins.
Right. Randall?
I do have Baltimore. I think they're going to try to lean on Ajayi a lot, and I think the Ravens are going to stack the box and hopefully create some turnovers with Matt Moore trying to throw them into that game. So I got Baltimore.
I have Dolphins, actually. I feel like Moore will do better than they did with Cutler, and they rely on the defense.
More than Cutler?
I think he does more than Cutler.
All right, Dom, you got to come up with a pun because you're down. You're down one.
You're 0 for 2.
Dang, you're right. Hey, I had some good titles to lead into games. So
those aren't puns, though. There's on Off the Dome.
We're in England.
Boom.
Vikings and Browns. What a great show to send the people of England. We're sending you the Cleveland Browns, baby.
Do we have a clean sweep here? Minnesota.
I thought we had a clean sweep of Cleveland.
Minnesota.
Minnesota around the board.
That's a rough game. Hopefully they give them at least a decent show.
Are they is that an early game for us again?
8:30.
Yes.
NFL
30
special.
Will not wake up for that one.
I feel this next one. I feel like this one is going to be a pretty interesting one. Raiders at the Bills. No Marshawn Lynch. Randall, who do you have?
I still got the Raiders, even without Marshawn Lynch. I like how Carr is looking right now. And I think those, like I said, the DBs in Buffalo have kind of been plateauing. And I think Carr will have another big game.
Thomas?
Yeah, same. I like the way Carr's looking, especially after the last game. If Cooper can
catch it,
rebound, can rebound off of what he did or pick up where he left off. So I got the Raiders.
I am trying to get my. Now, I am going with the team that got me that 1-point advantage last week with those Buffalo Bills circling the wagon again at home. So,
boo.
Legit playoff team?
No.
Next game. The Colts and their amazing offense travel to Cincinnati. Thomas.
Sensei.
Clean sweep.
Man, I really want to pick against Thomas on this one, but I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
Bengals.
Mixon have a big game this week?
This could potentially be a trap game as well. So,
Thomas, you think Mixon will have a big week? He didn't have a lot of carries last week, and he was like frustrated and complaining about it.
No, we'll see. I know who will have a big week. His name is AJ Green. It's either going to be him or Brandon LaFell.
Croft too.
Because Vontae Davis is still a Colt. Last time I checked, and he's pretty good. So,
fair enough. Next, I think this will be a good game because I feel like they always give him a good matchup. Chargers at the Pats. I feel like the Chargers have always played the Patriots well. So, Randall, who do you got?
It's in New England.
It's at New England.
And that's why I'm picking the Pats. If it was in LA, I would actually pick the Chargers, but since it's in New England, I'm still going to go Pats because they're going to use their fog machine again.
Thomas.
Never pick against Brady.
No. See, I agree with Randall. I'm going with the Pats. I feel like LA, I might be changing my mind. I like the Chargers this year, but I will go Patriots.
I think they could actually sneak up and grab a wild card spot still.
Hey, they're definitely in it. You can't count them out yet. So next
you can't count anybody out yet, Dom.
I can count out the Browns.
You can count out the Browns.
I can count out the 49ers. I'm counting out the Giants.
Hey, man. They could go 9-7.
I'm counting them out. Next up, most likely a clean sweep. A rematch at the 2007 NFC Championship game. The Bears travel to New Orleans. Saints all around.
Yep.
Next up, the Falcons and the Wingless Birds try to make their way into New York to take on the Jets.
ATL.
Falcons.
I will not.
Falcon punch.
I will not pick the Jets this week.
This is the game that they win.
This will be the game they win.
Matt Ryan is going to go off so hard this week. Dude, he might throw for 500. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, and that's
He's going to be so pissed.
That's going to be bad news for you because you're playing against him this week.
That's fine. Todd Gurley's not playing. I'm not worried about it.
Next up, I think, is a clean sweep. The 49ers travel to Philly. Are we all flying with the Eagles?
Yeah. Eagles fly.
Yep, all right. McNabb and Tio are going to lead them to victory, along with Brian Westbrook.
Next up, it's actually going to be a pretty good game. It's in Tampa. Cam Newton and the Panthers coming into town. Who you taking, Thomas?
Hashtag trap game.
For who?
Yeah, how's this a trap game if they have, like, the same record?
No, like, that's why it's a trap game. Like, you could pick either one.
Oh, I feel like it's a trap game because a team thinks they're going to win and then they're not. No. I feel like you're using this wrong.
No. I'm going to go.
Whoever you pick, I'm picking the opposite. That's actually not true. I have a pick.
I doubt it. I'm going to go with the Bucks on this one.
Oh, okay.
Randall?
I'm actually going with Panthers. Then that's not because I actually had them picked before. You can see it. I haven't written it down. But, yeah, Panthers.
I actually have Panthers, too. I feel like they can bounce back.
Yeah.
So
tonight they'll bounce back. You're welcome.
Thank you. Next up, the Texans travel to Seattle. This is a pretty good test here. Thomas, you rolling with your Texans still?
Of course.
Randall?
Seattle.
I'm actually going with the Texans this week.
Okay.
I feel like nothing against Dwight Freeney, but they signed Dwight Freeney because they're having injury problems.
Yeah.
And they are starting the rookie, which I know they have high praise for him, but I think Watson, I don't think he's played in big games. So.
Dwayne Brown's back.
So.
You think they're going to trade him by the deadline, Thomas?
I don't know.
Okay.
At this point, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because the line, I don't think they will right now because Chris Clark has a calf injury. But right now, I don't know.
Deadline is this week, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Halloween.
Yeah.
But interesting to note that he is not on the official depth chart. So
that is interesting.
We shall see.
Here. Our other 3 o'clock game. There's only 2 3 o'clock games. The other one is Redskins travel to Arlington to take on the Cowboys. Randall, who you got?
I got Redskins.
Same.
Those DBs aren't ready for Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
I'm actually going Cowboys.
Woo, another
one reason. The
Zeke?
Redskins offensive line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If they aren't healthy, the Lawrence and Irving, I'll give Irving's actually played well.
Yeah.
Since he's come back. If the offense line's not healthy, the Cowboys win that reason.
I think Cousins rushes for like 50 yards.
Hey,
Kirk Cousins rushes for 50 yards?
I'd love that. I have him in a league.
Because he'll get scared out of the pocket,
Hey, I'm all right with that. I have Kirk Cousins in a league, so I need all the points I can out of him. Next up, the Sunday night game. The Steelers ride their bike into Detroit to take on the Lions.
Jeez.
Thomas, who do you have?
I don't have that terrible whatever. No Golden Tate.
He was limited in practice.
Yeah, he still might play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Galladay actually was limited as well. He might play as well.
If they play, I still shit, who's playing?
I got Pittsburgh.
That's what it was. Yes, I'm still rolling with Pittsburgh.
I'm going with the Lions.
We know you are. I had it written down earlier when I made my picks.
They have to win this game.
I had Houston written down for Thomas and Detroit written down for you.
They have to win this game. They need it. They need to turn it back around. And final, the Monday Night Football. The Broncos head to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Do we have a clean sweep, or does someone want to take the Broncos?
No.
Because I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too.
Is that a consideration there, Thomas?
No, he's not considering it.
I'm considering
stalling.
it. I'm considering it. No, I got it. I got it from the very beginning.
Ooh, this would be a good one then. So clean sweep on KC? Just say it so we can get to what everyone wants to see.
It is a clean sweep.
The final segment. All right, so after our picks, Edwin is obviously trying to get us hurry up and go through the picks because we're getting to Thomas's.
Bam, 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 bam.
Go, Thomas. Do you want to? All right, Thomas.
Okay, Thomas, go.
Can we get? How about we ask this first? Can we get the sport first?
Language of origin, please.
Oh.
NFL. Okay.
Current player.
Ooh.
Okay, current NFL player.
All right, I'm ready.
Current NFL player. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is actually at another player.
Ooh.
I don't think he plays. If he does, he's backing up somewhere.
Okay.
All right. September 3rd. It doesn't say the actual date, but I'm assuming it's a long time ago. At Mark Sanchez.
Oh.
My name is Mark. I am a robot. I have a robot vagina.
Wait. So a current player
tweeted
those exact words to Mark Sanchez.
I'm gonna read it again. At Mark Sanchez. My name is Mark. I am a robot. I have a robot vagina.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Was this player in the league when he tweeted this?
It doesn't have a date, but I assume so.
Oh, man.
I want to go Antonio Cromartie, but he's not on a team right now.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
I don't think y'all are gonna get this one, but
yeah, this one's a little.
I can't even think of players. I just keep thinking about the tweet in my head.
I'll go. Oh, blank. I don't. Wow, this one's hard. Current NFL player. I feel like I need to just throw someone out right now.
Just another hint. One more hint. Was he on the Jets?
no.
Okay.
That's what I was trying.
He's played with the same team his whole career.
Played with the same team his whole career.
Mark Sanchez did not play for his team.
Okay.
It's got to be a decent veteran, though. I'll go Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Well, you already messed up because he didn't play for the Giants his whole career.
Oh, he said for the whole career? I thought he just said he. Yeah. No. Well, I got no one, honestly, so.
Just throw a name out there.
Someone with the whole career with the team. Man.
You have 10 seconds.
Von Miller.
Let me go Patrick Peterson.
Clay Matthews.
Really?
See, that seems like something he would say out loud when he was mic'd up on NFL Network, but not like something he would tweet.
Yeah, I
came across it. I was like, wow.
What was this like when the butt fumble? I bet it's like when the butt fumble happened or something.
Dude, it doesn't have a date. Like
Was he responding to something that Sanchez was saying?
It doesn't tell me.
Oh man, maybe we should tweet him and ask him.
Man, I did not know Clay Matthews uses Twitter like that.
I didn't pin him as a Twitter user at all, to be completely honest.
No, I did not expect that. Wow.
It just says 2:15 p.m., so it couldn't have been during the butt fumble. September 3rd.
I bet he like tackled it. I bet he like went down right when Matthews was like about to tackle him or something. I bet he dropped or something like that. You know what I
mean? Yeah,
I can see that. Wow. Interesting.
Wow.
All right, you never know. You never know what you'll get on Thomas's tweet of the week. So, thanks for tuning in. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube, and add us on Snapchat. And send in questions for next week. Glad to take them. And ask us questions on Twitter. We'll answer them if it's just a question you want answered on Twitter. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you another time.